be the GOAT. It's time to enter God mode, man, let's get it going. I wanna be the greatest, energy is overflowing. I know I'm stoking the fire, my desire's taking over. Not tired, I'm inspired, rewired. I know just what is required. My brain knows how to decipher the messages, looking brighter. Already paid up the piper, my game is getting much tighter. I feel my body on fire. Now it's game time. All the practice to prepare for this main time. I could do anything, that's my baseline. Go ahead and do you, I'ma make mine. You gon' read me in the headlines. Always go up, I don't know a decline. On the glow up, getting better with time. Yeah, I'm about to hit my prime. The air is filled up with suspense. We've got our dreams, we must defend. And we know what we represent. So we'll keep fighting till the end. And we'll keep fighting till we...
Welcome to the Daily ROI. That's right. I'm Jared. This guy's Nick. And we're here to inspire you. I love that intro, by the way. It just gets me hyped up.
It's a great Saturday. Woohoo!
Woo-hoo! Rock on, my people. All right. So if you don't know, now you know. I'm Jared. This is Nick. We're the Daily ROI Podcast. And we're going to be interviewing just a guy who inspired me. I love sports, and he's been a coach, lives in Texas, East Texas, and, likes the Dallas Cowboys. All my in-laws are Cowboys fans, Nick, so it can't be that bad.
You're talking to a New England guy without that. It's like, I scratched my head.
So, he's part of the digital growth community, so we automatically like him. But I'm excited to bring him on and talk to him about what got him into this and why he's building a legacy. I'm excited to do that because one of the best things that we do is we inspire people. And you never know who might be watching that gets inspired by what you might say. And I love that.
Absolutely. So true. So if you're listening in and you're just thinking, what on earth are these two talking about? You're going to find out, because what we're all about is sending positive vibes out there about digital marketing. There's so much information out there. It's confusing, but we bring people on just to show you the changes that it happens to individuals and also as groups as well. And that's why Jared and I wanted to do this, so we can share it. We can show you how we all work together.
Plus, we like to show off our beautiful mugs.
Exactly. Oh, that mug.
Oh, yeah. Good looking mugs.
I was born this way. I shouldn't do that over my keyboard.
Right. So I'm going to bring our guest on, do a very special video intro, and give him some love, everyone. Drop some comments in the comments section. All right. I want to see some love. Show him some flowers. Give him some comments. Drop a word. Where's that special guest intro? Here it is. Boom.
Just carry this low. I'm kicking back here with the smoke. Just carry this low. I tried to front like a G. Shit worked me. I had to think the front like
Troy Wallace.
Hello,
my brother.
Well, that intro, man, let's dance.
Let's go.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
We're gonna play musical chairs just a little bit. I'm gonna put you where I'm at on the screen. So hold on. There we go. Whoa! Oh, that didn't hurt, right?
No, it didn't hurt.
Okay, good.
Transport.
Right.
The swimming pool looks bigger.
Yeah. But man, yeah, thank you. I put that video intro and I added all the stuff together to kind of help with our vision that he and I have had with our podcast. So I'm hoping that gives people, I don't know, some energy, gets them hyped up to watch what we do, because we're about positive vibes, and I really want to be able to deal positive vibes. All right. If I get caught, hey, I'm guilty. I'm dealing positive vibes. All right.
Hey, man, it got me pumped, I guarantee you.
So, man, tell us where you're from, Troy. I'd love to hear a little bit more about where you grew up, where you live now, if it's different. Give me a little background that way.
Texas through and through. Born here, raised here. Now I've lived all over Texas, but
Okay, that's a big
it's,
state.
yeah, we have been. You know, you said in the intro, I'm a coach, so I'm a high school coach, and a lot of times in high school coaching, you get found guilty of chasing the talent. So you're always looking for the next best place,
For the next
best
one.
place, yeah, or a place where they can put up with what you do.
Right.
So we've been all over Texas. I think I've been at maybe 8 different schools. My wife is tired of that. She said, "Settle down, pick the one. I'm not moving anymore."
Uh-huh.
So we're right here in East Texas now. This is kind of where all my family is. My only grandbaby I got's here. So,
Well,
cool.
you know, that is cool. We have 3. I've got 3 grandchildren. I think. How many do you have? 1. That's right. And his grandson. And so, man, it's great being a grandparent. I love it.
oh man,
Yeah, it's just last week when we went to our family reunion, I had 2 of my granddaughters, actually all 3 of them, but 2 of them on the playground where the family reunion was. And I got to tell you, just spending time with them and then have them pull my hand and drag me around, and they call me Papa. And so they'll say, Papa, and she'll drag me to how she wants help on the slide or whatever. And it just warms my heart, So it's just,
absolutely.
yeah.
Mine calls me Poppy.
All right. I was just going to ask what they call you. Okay.
Yeah, she'll be 3 in July, and she has just won my heart now.
That's awesome.
That is
Nice.
so
When
cool.
in July?
Do what?
When's her birthday in July?
July 23rd.
All right. Okay. Because
Yeah,
my grandson's July the 6th.
Oh yeah.
6th. Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't 2 days earlier.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Could have been an Independence baby, right?
Right,
Independence
right,
baby.
right.
It's like I was around at my friend's house earlier, and I said to her, I said, I don't think I'll be working all this week because of obviously July the 4th. She said, well, why is that? I said, well, maybe I should work because I don't know, what have I got to celebrate?
Right.
I said, do I have to remind you kicked our butts?
Right.
I went, oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah. We've been best friends ever since, though.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So you've been a high school coach, and I love the TV show Friday Night Lights, and I think that TV show, the head coach, I think they were in Texas. The show, obviously, but people
it's based out of Odessa, Texas, and I live in Midland,
That's
side
right.
by side.
All right. I thought so. I wasn't totally sure, and Texas, college sports, football, it specifically, is taken so seriously in Texas.
Yes,
It is.
Are we talking high school or college? Just to clarify.
high school.
High school.
But that's treated like pro ball, Nick. I'm telling you, it is so serious in Texas.
Well, it is here. I don't. What sport did you coach? Just as a matter of interest.
Well, I coached all of them, but I'm mainly a girls basketball coach right now. But I coached football for 17 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I absolutely love it. It's probably my favorite sport, but the heat in Texas got to me, and I got to be in the gym.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I used to do the girls' soccer local high school.
Yeah.
That's a full-time job. And here it wasn't a full-time job. It was like they gave you a stipend, which was, it didn't even cover your gas money. So it's
Right.
But yeah.
That's why we do digital marketing, though, baby, so we can afford to do those things.
That's the thing, right? You have to be able to afford to do it because otherwise you just can't do it. So, yeah, I take my hat off to you because I know it is. I actually spoke to our director of sports. Is that what you call them? Can't remember anyway. And I said,
Athletic director,
well,
right?
we're going to digress slightly here. I'd be interested in your opinion, but we start, when I say we, in high school, they start one sport before they should. They should give a lot more of the kids like a week, just a break, because the amount of people that, or kids, my daughter was a 3-season athlete, basketball, state champs, all
Oh
that.
my gosh. I feel sorry for you already.
Same thing. And then track and field, having to drive 4 hours one way just for 15 fucking seconds. Excuse my
I
French.
know, but seriously, yeah.
Welcome to my world.
Right. Oh my gosh. I've been there. I've been there.
So doing that for 4 years, but it's like, but the one thing is she was getting injured because she was giving 100%. But I said to the sports director, I said, can't you just delay the training a week? Give the kids a week off just to relax the muscles, because they're giving up soccer, especially in soccer, because they were starting basketball. They start the basketball training, and it used to drive me nuts because you still had 2 or 3 games left to play of the season, and then they'd be practicing basketball, and that was their main sport. So then they go, all right, well, soccer, yeah, I'll turn up if I want to turn up. And it really didn't help with the teamwork or anything like that. They were like, no, but it's serious stuff.
So serious.
It is. They never get a break. And now that it's all summer long and it's
No
nuts.
off season. Yeah.
No.
Right. So yeah, I look at the parents and I'm like, ugh. And then of course, then I did club coaching as well for soccer, and I'm done.
It can be exhausting mentally.
So there must be something to do with coaching, because we both had the same barber haircut.
Right. Absolutely.
Jared
Absolutely.
needs a few seasons of coaching to catch up with us.
Yeah.
So
just buzz it off and get rid of it. That way you got to worry about it.
you know what? I tried that once, but the winters get too cold up here for that. I have to wear a woolly hat to bed, and that just looks even worse. But
All right.
yeah, I agree. So what made you, I mean, obviously coaching, that's obviously helping other people, bringing people along, and thanks for that input there. But what led you into the legacy, and what process did you go through to then decide legacies for me, or were you on this is a multitude of questions, but was it IPS at the time you joined and then you went with legacy? What's your story? What were you looking for? And
Well, I've been an entrepreneur forever. My oldest daughter and I started a medical spa together back in 2014, which we still have.
Oh, right on.
nice.
Tyler,
Very
Texas.
cool.
Yeah. Ironically, my younger daughter's one running it now, but my older
Oh,
daughter's
really?
stay-at-home mom with my grandbaby. So I've had the entrepreneurial spirit for forever. I got into affiliate marketing probably, 7-8 years ago, and I love the idea. I absolutely love the idea. I love the idea that all of this brings. The idea of it is amazing. So about a year ago, I decided, okay, I got to get back into this. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And so I started getting into the AI stuff. And I thought, man, at first I didn't like AI. I thought, man, this is going to take over the world, screw us up. And it still might. I don't know.
Right.
But I started learning stuff about it. So what I actually wound up hiring some guys to build me an AI software. And that's where I thought I was heading. I've got this software. I'm going to get me 1 million subscribers, be rich, live on the beach, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I still got the software, and I absolutely love doing that. But I kind of went in the back door of digital growth community, because the guys that built my software for me, they also have a school community. So I was in there one day just pilling, and I said, I'm going to go look around at these other places. And I came across digital growth community. Didn't know anything about it. Didn't know nothing about it. I thought, hey, I'm joining this. So I've been paying Michelle ever since. And I joined IPS because when I got in there, somebody asked me about it, and I didn't know anything about it. So I joined IPS. And man, was that confusing. But anyway, I could see the beauty of it. I thought, man, this is for me. This is for me. And this was like in December.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago. So I got on board and started learning everything. Of course, I'm right in the middle of basketball season. So I'm 80 hours a week coaching. And so it was a tough deal trying
How was
to get
your brain? How was your brain working at this point? 80 hours? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I come home and watch 2 hours of basketball video and then get on here and try to do the train stuff. So it was a slow roll to start with. And then when Michelle came out with Legacy, I mean, it just blew my mind.
Oh, it's so mind-blowing.
And she and I hooked up and even talked about partnering with the AI software and stuff like that. And we're still working on that. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
But man, the program is just amazing. It just bumfuzzles me at the amount of
I gotta have you back up for a moment though. What was that word?
Bumfuzzle.
Nick, did you catch that?
I didn't. I thought it was a Texas thing. I thought
that is hilarious. That is so funny.
Is that what you call a vegetarian in Texas?
No. That's what you call a confused person in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I'm going to say that. I'm going to use that term to my wife. Why are you doing that? I'm just so bumfuzzled.
Well, the amount of value that she offers, I can't believe. I mean, I try to not even say it because she might hear me say it and decide, oh, I got to quit doing
Yeah,
this.
I'm going to charge more money.
Yeah, she could package this, and it's just unbelievable.
It really is.
And I think the beauty of it all is, and to show how humble she is, she knows it, but she won't. And that's the difference. And, she does convey that within the community. And the leadership goes all the way down, to the new people, just joining the community. They get the feeling and that they love the community because of Michelle, and that's
absolutely
90% of people came on through Michelle. And obviously that's changing now because more and more people are getting the six figures. But it's a tribute. I mean, it really is a success story, which, there's a lot of players out there. There's a lot of players that have brought out brilliant courses, being the operative word, courses, but they don't have the Michelle factor. Michelle factor is one in a million. And it's just, Jared and I talk about it a lot. We feel privileged and humbled just being connected as we are through the DGC community on that.
Absolutely. And you know what it boils down to?
What's that?
What T-shirt does she wear all the time?
I know, Hope Dealer, the Hope Dealer. I love that T-shirt.
She is magical with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just watch her for 5 minutes and go, yes, I got this.
I'm mesmerized. I always feel like she's talking to me directly.
I know, me too. Me too. She is absolutely awesome. And it makes it so the community can actually, I mean, I look at her as a coach, listening to her talk about her son, going
a lot like a coach.
She sounds just like a coach. I'm thinking, hey girl, can I hire you? I need you on my team.
Right.
And
but love. Nothing but love for her. Give me a heart, Nick.
I'm not good at this, but
come on, Nick. Why is it not working? All right. What is it? Balloons? What is it supposed to? Anyway, we'll try it. We'll try it again in a moment. But yeah, I mean, just the largest heart, Troy. And I mean, Nick and I talk about this, and I'm enamored. I adore her, and I just think that she shows such determination, dedication as a leader. Because I've bought other courses and I've bought other packages from other businesses, and the leaders of that or the founder of the business will go to lives, but otherwise you rarely see them. You know what I mean? And you don't interact with them. And for her to be as accessible as she is, and to do her subscriber lives on TikTok, other like CEOs of businesses and leaders of other businesses just don't do that. They don't.
Right.
No.
Yeah, and I don't know if it happened on accident with her, but my gosh, everything that she has done that has created value for us has led to an awesome business model for her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for all of us.
For all of us.
You can see it. Everything that's happening with her is just incredible. What are we doing there?
Peace.
Peace, baby.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what finally convinced me of her being the absolute realest and best is when I heard her getting on to people on one of her lives.
Yes.
I mean, she don't play.
She does it.
She's got all the love in her heart, but you don't mess with this. You know what I mean?
Right. Don't take advantage of her kindness. Right.
So most people that are in this situation, they don't want to make anybody mad.
Right. I'm going to please you.
Heck with that. Keep it pure, baby.
Yeah. I do love that. I do, because I've always said that, you know, there are other communities where, again, the leader's not very accessible. And then all of a sudden you've got somebody who creates these cliques. And then all of a sudden to be popular is the only way to try to get attention and get a question answered. That's not the way she operates. No. Okay. She doesn't just, you know, have a select few, you know, so to speak. Right. She'll answer questions from random people. It doesn't have to be just certain people. And she does have a big heart, but you're right. She does not let people take advantage of her kindness. She'll call you out in probably the classiest way.
Absolutely.
One can do it, because it's so funny. She says, I don't mean to be a mean person. I'm like, you just basically criticize somebody in the kindest way. I don't think they're ever going to be mad at you, because she does. She'll let you know it can't be tolerated, but she'll do it the kindest way.
Well, the thing about it is, everybody that's watching that has a clue can side with her immediately, because we see it too.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. But that is absolutely the best way to lead, because you know, as a coach, okay, when you were on, whether it's last year, 2 years ago, or whatever best team you've coached, right? If you were to let somebody slide on something, how does that look for the other people?
Right.
Players or no players, from an assistant coach or a booster, whoever, once that starts happening, you know, and it's a trend, how do you think that's going to look? It doesn't look, you know what I mean? It doesn't look really good. And so the fact that she is firm and says, this is the way it is, and if you don't like it, I 100% respect that. Bye-bye. You know, I love that.
Yeah. Well, people don't do what you say.
Want.
Right. People don't do what you say. They do what you tolerate.
Right.
And she's not going to tolerate nonsense.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think there's a better place or a better leader to be with right now. Absolutely not. Yeah, I feel sorry for her, actually. She seems to me so overwhelmed. Not overwhelmed, because she don't ever look overwhelmed, but she's got so much going on. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
I was glad to see when she hired her team and all that stuff.
Right. So she's starting to delegate, and I think that she's understood now that that's where she's at, is she needs to delegate instead of take on so much. But again, she just has the biggest heart that she does want to help people, and I love that about her. But I think that she's starting to get that. I hope that she continues to delegate so that she's got bandwidth, you know, left over, because that's the whole reason why she started this, of course, is to be with her family. But anyway, I want to get back to, I'm just a sports fan, and so I love talking about sports. What are some similarities between, like, coaching creating a playbook for your basketball team and trying to game plan to be successful with the blueprint that we have?
It's almost identical. They're almost parallel. I mean, it's crazy how, for one, it's your approach. Okay, I discovered this in coaching a long time ago, and I figured real quickly how it works in business too. If you go about it for yourself, you're not going to be successful. But if you go into it and you're true-hearted to help the others be successful, everything falls into place.
Hard work beats talent, right?
Hard work beats talent every time. Now, I'd like to have a lot of talent, but I'm going to
Right.
make them work hard.
But God gave me this face.
Right. But yeah, they parallel each other a lot. It's mindset. Michelle preaches
So
on mindset
important.
constantly.
Yeah.
Your mindset. If you're weak-minded, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
You'll get eaten up by the sharks.
One of the things I tell my girls, I got this from Mike Tyson, from all people.
From
This
whom?
Mike Tyson.
Oh, Mike Tyson. Okay.
This was actually my team's motto this past season.
Oh, right on. Very cool.
He said, "You've got to do the things that you hate as though you loved them."
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it is in all walks of life. There's going to be things that you hate to do that are important. You just got to do them like you love them.
Yes. There's speaking of sports quotes, John Wooden, former basketball coach for UCLA for over 10 seasons. I love his quotes, and I just adore the guy. One of my favorite quotes for him, maybe you've heard this already, Troy, but do not let what you can't interfere control, or how does it go? Don't let what you can't control interfere with what you
can control.
Right. And it's true, though. Think about that. How many times we, as just people, right, we get so fixated on something we had no control over. You know what I mean?
Well, a basketball game is a perfect example. Everybody wants to gripe and fuss about the referees, and you can't control it. So don't let it control how you play. Don't let it get a hold of your emotions. You just go do what you can do.
Yes. Which is why I don't think it was the very reason, but I think it's one of the reasons that Luka Doncic and the Mavericks lost that. It wasn't the only reason, but I thought that he paid too much attention, Luka did too. But anyway, don't get me started on that.
He's done that forever.
He has.
He is really, really good on offense.
He is, and he's not the only one. My wife and I have had this discussion, and she loves LeBron, but LeBron tends to whine a little bit too long too. So he's not. So Luka Doncic isn't the only person to do that, and even in real football, they do that. When they get a yellow card or something, they'll complain, right?
Right.
So it happens. I get it. And I'm not saying Luka's the only one to have done it. He's the originator. But if you think of the elite or legends, okay, most of the legends, whether it's Wayne Gretzky, okay, in NHL, in soccer, Pele, most of the legends, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as an example, okay, most of the legends didn't complain like that after falls. At least when I say like that, I mean continuously, if you know what I mean, where it's annoying.
Pele was known for that. He never fouled. If the ref called something, he no problem. Let's move on.
Well, there's a reason for that. They didn't need to whine and get something called for them. They just made it happen themselves. You know what I mean? That's why they're the greatest. But before we go any further, I can't let you bury the lead.
Okay.
I heard you say in real football.
Right.
Said?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I lived in Germany for 2 years, so I gotta give some love. It's football started obviously with the name elsewhere and not America, but American football is my favorite sport. But a very close second is basketball. I love basketball. But both I love for the strategy. The strategy involved as a guy who loves to, put together a game plan, a playbook, and then match certain players. That's exciting to me. And I love that, And so I love sports because it's like a chess match.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I don't like about March Madness, though, okay, is that in fantasy football, okay, I believe there's a lot more skill involved in regards to doing what you do. But with March Madness, okay, I'm telling you, you can do as much research as, I don't know, a genius, as Albert Einstein, right? It doesn't matter sometimes with March Madness. If you ever do those brackets online, my wife can like the colors of a team and she'll win.
Right.
And it drives me crazy because I'm a sports fan. Okay. And for her just to pick the color, or because the guy has she likes the demeanor and his facial expression. It's like, what? That's what you're judging how they may win?
Yeah.
And she beats me. So, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, I suck at those brackets. I mean, I've been coaching for 33 years and basketball. And I've never had a good bracket yet because of what you're saying.
Right. It's like,
I mean, there's no logic in it at all.
it's really not. The March Madness drives me nuts. And I'd love to watch it. Just don't like to invest time in trying to do a bracket and tell you who may win or not. But
Well, you're talking about that. I mean, favorite part of the entire thing for me is the game.
yeah,
The game is just stress for me. I love to get in the film room and I love to do the planning and how we're going to do all
that's enjoyable.
and
right.
just development, how to develop the kids. All that's fun. But when you get in the game, I just don't like the game. If I could skip the game part of it, I'd do it. It's
Fast forward.
But you know, it's the same thing in this business.
I was just going to say that. Is it how gratifying is it when you have connected with somebody, much like connecting with a high school player, and you see that they start and all of a sudden maybe they start to earn more skills, you know?
Right.
How is that similar, and what have you seen with, the parallels?
Well, for one, like my wife has been in the background watching me do this, and she's got her own thing going, but this is not her at all. But she's very smart. She's a teacher, by the way.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
Love
and
teachers.
so she's been watching me, and she'll say, "Are you going to ever get in the game? Are you going to keep planning and keep making sure your video is good? And are you going to get in the game?" And I'm like, that's just how I'm wired, man. I want everything to be perfect, and I sit there and listen to Michelle, and I go, I know. I need to just get in the game and go learn as I go.
Get out of your head and get in your heart.
It's just hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Man.
It is.
It is a transition for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember with some of my content videos, I was like, back, replay, redo, back, replay. And then in the end, I just went, stuff it, just go. What do you call it? What's that word you say in Texas?
Bum fuzzled.
Bumfuzzled. That's so funny.
Bumfuzzled. So I just said, bumfuzzled, we're going to send this out, these 3 content videos. And then it went off. And, I'm going to say that when I go back to the UK, and everyone's going to look at me, and then I'm going to get arrested. So you better give me your phone number.
I will.
Tell your mates you've been bumfuzzled.
Well, yeah, that'll get me in all sorts of trouble, I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, some of the stuff, the content that I've done that I thought was absolutely horrible, that's what's done the best.
Yeah.
And I'll plan for 3 or 4 hours and do something, and
It's the craziest thing. I think we've all experienced that. I know I have, where I've thought, man, this video, I just really like the way I said this, or I like, you get a feel for a video, and then it won't do as well as another one, So it's the craziest thing is that I think what happens is that although our perfect customer is us, okay, we are ourselves the perfect customer, right?
all right.
5-10 years ago. So even though it's we know ourselves, I think sometimes we get caught up in trying to choose something, right? When sometimes we're forgetting what prompted us to do this.
Right.
And anyway, the algorithm is really finicky. It's as fickle as a pickle sometimes. And,
Yeah, it is.
and I just think that, I'll throw something out there thinking it's a fit, and either I didn't get it right, and I didn't remember my old self, or my new, or my perfect customer got inspired in a different way from my video. I don't know. But I think the important thing is to try to get in the game as much as possible, because it, much like when I started my first podcast, Troy, okay, it's not very smooth. I'm still not very smooth right now, but you could tell, right? Like I was nervous. Thank you for coming to my podcast. You know, not a whole lot of my personality was showing, you know, and you could tell the more I did it, the more natural it became. I all of a sudden understood what I could do with my hands, you know, because there's that Will Ferrell movie. You've seen that?
Yep.
What should I do with my hands?
Right.
But, you know, you just feel natural. Now I'll do one of these, you know, and I'll just be goofy because that's who I am.
Well, that's what happens is you start off and you go through a process not realizing what you've done is put on 27 masks, and now it takes you a while to get all those masks off and get right back to where you were.
Yeah,
That's
true.
My
Right,
wife
Nick?
constantly,
Right.
my wife's constantly in the background saying, "Just be yourself. Just be yourself." Okay.
Yeah, and I think also, just we were talking about it this morning, is forget about the algorithm. You can't control it. It's one of those things you can't control. Just do you, and just put it out there, because, you know, it goes through phases. It's like, you know, if I start to analyze some of my recent content, it's like got 50 views and stopped, and I'm like, I've never been at 50 views. But the algorithms are going like this, you know, and yes, there are people that say, well, if it gets so many looks at 100 or 200, and then it does, and the 200 jail, that's, you know, that's total BS.
It is, because
it, you know, I think if we go along with what Michelle says, you know, and she keeps on harping on about it, and it's right.
It's about your message.
Too much about the numbers. Just get yourself out there. Just you know, do your content videos. Don't worry about the boobs or anything like that. Let's be honest. If we're watching a professional sports game, or if we're watching something, we all love the mistake. That's human nature. And that can actually draw people in more, because it's showing your true actual self, rather than something that's so smooth, you're like, and linear, you're thinking, what is the real person behind that?
Right.
You know what that is, Nick? You know what that is right there?
Golden nugget.
That's a truth bomb! Booyah! Boom!
I was 50% wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think back about Michelle when she first started doing the trainings, or maybe it was when I first started watching live. I don't know what it was, but she would say, I'm so tired of people whining about 200 people. She said, I'm thinking about, man, I got 200 people for free watching me.
Right.
Yeah.
No ad. Didn't pay for the ad.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
you know, and it's so true, because I mean, I remind myself of. I mean, I have to remind myself, because occasionally I look at some of my content and I'm like, oh, it's not before me. But then I look back at other content that I've done, and it's gone from 200 to 400. You know, so it's going out there, and it's building momentum. And I think it's that instant gratification society that we live in, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We want that 1,000 or 1,500 or 100,000 views, and so this, you know, it's got to be instant. It's not,
Right.
and it's never been that. It's never a quick, you know, get rich quick scheme. It's a build it up.
Boom! That's warranted for another one right there, because I'm going to give you another one, because that is so right. Troy, listen to this, because it's sustainability. Okay. Yeah. A business that has continued success, all right, in my opinion, needs to be built on a sure foundation. Absolutely. And you know what I mean? Because
absolutely,
if you have sand, okay, sand is not going to be a great place to build something, because, you know, it's just not solid, right?
Right.
The one biblical on me there, are you?
Right, yeah. And so clay, you know, something that absorbs the water, you know, and something that's going to be a more solid sort of dirt is going to keep it in there better. And I think, okay, that if you build something that has sustainability, it's got to help have your roots of your organization grow. whether that's email marketing or talking about your message, talking about how you're connecting with people. Okay. For me, it's a time freedom because I don't want other fathers to go through what I have gone through with my daughter being estranged to me. I want to prevent that or connect with others so that they can go on vacation and go on more family things, camping, whatever. That's what it is for me. For this guy, he wants to have a retirement that's totally funded. He wants to spend time with his child now, but grandchildren. And he wants to fund his retirement. He does not want to work. He said this emphatically. I do not want to work until I'm 80 years old.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
For you, very similar parallel where you want to create a retirement and you've got one, would you say three? One grandchild. And then you want that grandchild, you want to have time with your grandchild as well as future potential grandchildren. Okay. And so those are three of our main objectives. Okay. So if we all get like super good at connecting with people with that primary message, I'm telling you, okay, that's the biggest advantage is just getting good at that message. That alone right there and honing in on that skill can get us more quality leads than any other thing that we can do. Not the email marketing, not the sending somebody to the webinar. Getting good at creating your message and connecting with your ideal customer, perfect customer, whatever you want to call it, is, I believe strongly, the most important thing you can do.
Yeah. What do you think? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying too many people spend way too much time trying to sell the airplane, not the destination.
That's right. That's right. So let me ask you this. What's y'all's opinion on the value of lives?
The lives are extremely important for different reasons. But the value that I see with the lives is that you get to interact with people and they see you in a different way than on your videos. Okay. I mean, for the most part, I'm just as goofy on my videos as I am here. And Nick's all right, that's true. But for some people, but for some other people that may not, have done a podcast and don't feel comfortable like I do on a camera, okay, they're going to act a little bit differently on a live, a little bit more naturally. Mm-hmm. In some cases. That's
the way I am. I'm way more natural on a live.
Yeah. And so that's why I believe that a live can enhance your online business because they get to see the real you a little bit more with clarity, if that makes sense. It's a little better picture, a little sharper, clearer picture. Whereas on a video, sometimes, it's not as clear. So I think that it just will enhance or amplify your online persona.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Nick?
I totally agree with that. I think, with content videos, you get anything from 30 seconds to a minute and a half, let's just say. And it's a rehearsed performance. Let's just put it like that. Okay. But a live is something that gives longevity. It gives people the chance to actually see that you are, one, a real person. Secondly, they get to see you fumble and fall over and talk and try and get things to interact and that kind of thing.
And, wait a minute. Let me fix this.
Yeah, you got me.
So they get to see the real you. So I think it's important, and I think it's good in a number of ways from because I've been working with someone on the side that, to give different backgrounds and things like that, because I think that's important.
Very important.
I think Michelle does a really good job, but we're not there yet, where she's in her office and that works for her. But I think there's a lot to be said where Victoria and Tim and everyone else, they can bring out different backgrounds. And I think that inspires, because again, human nature, we like to see a different background every so often.
Absolutely.
It proves that you're alive, basically.
Right.
It does.
Robot. I mean,
Well, that brings up another question I have, and I didn't mean to flip this around about me asking questions.
No, it's great. That's how it should be, a conversation.
Right. My wife and I talk about this all the time. A lot of the people that are doing really well in this, they have a great story that comes from, the dun-dun-dun-dun. They went from low, some bad thing happened in their life, and then boom. Well, I don't have that. I don't have any major. You know what I mean?
I want to stop you right there, though, if I may, as politely as possible. I think it's human nature to undervalue and under respect, if that's a word, our own challenges that we've had. Because your story that you told me, what prompted you to do this when Nick asked you, to me, that's as inspiring as any of their messages. I think sometimes we get too caught up in it's got to be this earth-shattering, experience or something like the heavens opened. And there were, and there's a personage that comes down. It doesn't have to be like that, right? It just has to be something that meant so much to you at that moment that you wanted to make a change. That's right. All it needs to be. And for me, again, it's not my primary reason, but I've got 3 grandchildren. I totally think about that stuff. Mm-hmm. Troy, and if I think about it, I know other people, they must, because they have either somebody who's, a daughter that's about to have a child or has a child and will have more. And I know they think about it. So I think you're undervaluing that right there. It's a strong message about why you're doing this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree.
And not everyone's coming from, can I be blunt, broken home or something like that, where, you get a lot of that around. And we were on a live talking one time, Judd, and I don't know if you remember, but a young lady came on from California who's one of our loyal supporters and on one of our duets. And she said, you know what? It's so nice to hear guys talk about divorce, because all she hears about
is the other side.
The other side, of women complaining. So the reason why I say that story is that, exactly as Jared said, is that you did it for a reason. You did it because you're an entrepreneur already, your entrepreneur spirit and things like that. And that's the people you want. There's so much human nature can take of negative Nelly, and I'm not saying what they've come out of is, or what they're in or anything. I'm not downgrading it in any way or form. But what I'm saying is there's only so much human brain can take, because otherwise you start to think is this a reform club or is this
right. They're going through rehab or
absolutely.
Right. So you've got to have that variety. I mean, for me, and I'm sure we're very similar, we want to spend time, create memories with our grandkids. We want to spend time with our own kids because we can afford it, because we're of that generation of work hard, work till 6 o'clock at night.
If you're loyal to your business, then they'll be loyal back to you.
Right. And screw the family and don't spend time with them, because as long as you're putting food on the table, they'll still love you. Well, it ain't true,
It's not anymore anyway. It may have been true at one point or one time, but not anymore.
I just wrote down here, because out of these, I do get snippets that are just nuggets to me. And I just write, focus on grandchild and time with them. And then the other thing I think we all need to do this, and I put myself in this, is we all look outside, but we don't look inside. We look inside, not outside. So what I mean by that is, just to clarify that, is we all think about what's my perfect customer, and it's me. And what was I thinking? Well, how about look at you from the outside? What were you thinking? Right. That way, you might find it a little bit easier to just
I love
that message and things like that. And I think that's something that's that we all do, and myself included.
Absolutely.
I can say this is the reasons why I bought it. But now after this live, I'm now going to look at it from the point of view of, okay, if I'm looking from the outside, I'm looking in. How do I convey that message? Because we can all talk about it to each other, but do they understand from the outside what we're talking about?
Yes. I'm going to go meta on you.
I love it.
Additionally, another layer, so to speak,
Right.
is not only talk about your why, okay, and how it was important to you, but show the emotion of the why.
Right.
That other layer that you can do either on a live or in a real video. Because again, that's why it takes practice, but I'm telling you, if you can get used to showing your real emotion on a video, I'm not saying you have to be Victoria and play the waterworks, okay?
Thank goodness.
Right. all the time. But if it's real in that moment and you feel like crying, cry. But I just think that real emotion, whether what happened at one point made you angry, look angry.
Right.
Okay. If it made you sad, look sad. And if it made you excited, show that emotion. Like this guy, they're two of my favorite videos from this guy. The first one, when his family was about to visit, and he was so excited. I mean, elated. And he showed it in the video. The second one, just last week, the same emotion. In fact, you started it out nearly similarly. I'm so happy. And you were talking about manifesting. And that was the same expression of happiness in that video. Sure. It's this identical as that other video. You looked so happy. And I love that. Those two videos are my favorite because of your emotion.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's the other layer, is not only talking about your why, but showing the emotion. Because I really do that's another way that we can connect with people.
That's the connection.
Absolutely. And when you feel it, just do the video. And however it comes out, and that's what I did with both those videos. However, it was one shoot, boom, done.
It's real. Yeah.
I just didn't even think about it. I just put it out there. And I look back at those and I'm like, wow, you feel it through the video. But yeah, that was incredible.
Oh yeah. Those two videos, I'm going to have to make sure they're in the settings that I can duet, because I've got to duet both of those videos.
Right.
And then you could even stitch and duet your own videos from those. You can also add those to your TikTok story. I mean, there's so many things you could do with past videos that have performed well that I think we don't often think about.
Right. And I think what I need to do as well is pin them.
Yeah, pin them.
Certainly pin them.
Yeah. I'm not an advocate necessarily for voodoo, but pin those.
Some of my best performing videos have had 50 views, and I've got one that's got 14,000 views. Nothing.
No leads. Yeah.
Lots of chatter.
Right.
Really no
email subscribers have come from it. It's pretty crazy the way that works. Yeah. Oftentimes the ones that get the most views don't always translate to email subscribers. It's pretty crazy.
Right. What do you guys do with your email as far as cleaning it out and stuff? I don't think my email list is really good.
I've spent I think I've done it maybe 2 or 3 times where I've cleaned mine. And since I started the Legacy Builder, right? Because we started a brand new email, what's it called? Sales funnel, right? When we did that. Since the beginning of that, I now have, I believe, 82, maybe 86, but 80 something subscribers in that from when I started that.
Mm-hmm.
And right before that started, I wanted to clean it out. And so that was the last time I cleaned it out. And then I just, with the settings, did what Michelle taught us. She has a video in the classroom. I can't remember where that's at, but she talks about how to clean it out, right?
Yep.
Where there's a filter on the left-hand side of your contacts, and if you use the filter and choose, I think in Stream or not Stream, System IO.
Uh-huh.
If you put in there, I think it's hasn't done anything with your email, hasn't touched it, opened it, and I can't remember engagement. Anyway, they haven't opened it at all within the last, say, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, whatever. I can't remember what. Maybe I chose 6 months, but anyway, I put that as a filter. And for those that haven't opened up any of my emails in the last 6 months, I just started deleting those contacts. Now, what I always say to people is that if you don't want to outright delete it like 100%, if you just want to delete it from System IO, you could start an Excel spreadsheet.
Right.
Whether it's from Microsoft or use Google, whatever, and just put the ones you delete before they're deleted, copy them and paste them onto a spreadsheet so they're not gone forever just from that sales funnel or from that System IO. Then you could do that too. Either or, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I certainly don't want to tell people that you just need to delete your contacts forever. I don't want that to come across that way. I'm not saying that they'll never be productive on any other campaign or newsletter. And that's the other problem with deleting them entirely, is that when you do the settings, it's also that settings will include opening up a newsletter, not just your regular sales funnel, right?
Right.
So if you're sending out webinar newsletters to let people know about the webinar and they're still not opening it up, that's, as long as you're doing it regularly. And I got to tell you, that's one of my things that I need to improve on. I need to get better at sending out my newsletters. But anyway, I'm just saying that if you're sending out those regular and they're still not opening them up, then they're probably not a customer that is going to be currently active, right?
Right.
So that's the only thing I would look at is, if you want to put them on a spreadsheet, the ones you're going to delete potentially because they haven't opened up anything in the last 6 months or whatever, and then you're cleaning it out,
Right.
and that's what I've done, and it seems to work for the most part. I don't think I put them on a spreadsheet the last ones I deleted, but I think I did previous 2 times. I put them on a Excel spreadsheet, but again, it's not something that I'm saying you have to do. Okay, we've got a comment here from my YouTube channel. I just want to bring to the screen here. It says, "Nice, keep it up," and it's ICT Bobby. Thank you, ICT Bobby. Thank you. Thanks for the comment. Appreciate it. Let us know. Yeah, let us know where you're tuning in from.
Absolutely. And I think it's the email thing is a personal thing as well. It's personally, I would wait till I've got 500-600 before I started even doing that. But I would do exactly as Jared said. I wouldn't delete permanently anything because
you never know.
My house. I mean,
It is,
for affiliate marketing, for whatever in the future, because yes, they might not have opened this because they figured I haven't unsubscribed, but maybe in the future. But if you do something in the future where it's affiliate marketing,
They may like that.
Yeah, they may.
Exactly.
Or their life changes and maybe the same message given to them again, they connect again. Anyway, you never know. You're right.
Yeah, you never can tell. That's why I was wondering why anybody would clean it out. And
I think mainly it's just so that you can keep it as free, and you have to choose a chargeable plan once you reach, if you've gone over 2,000 contacts. And I was at that point at one time, and that was my main reason for starting my first sort of clean out is
Right.
I didn't want to pay, so I just figured, okay, I'm going to put these on my Excel spreadsheet. I'm not deleting them permanently, but I do want to clean this because I don't want to pay. And if they're productive and they're engaging, don't delete them. I'm just saying I felt okay putting them on a spreadsheet because I didn't see any engagement from them in the last 6 months or more. And so to me, those are the ones I wanted to target as far as taking them off System.io so I could just keep it free. Now, if they're interacting and and your list is extremely small because a lot of them are opening them up and you are close to 2,000, you're probably making income if that's happening.
Right.
And so number 2, don't delete any of those if that's happening, and then just pay the money, but again, I just, until I start making my ideal target of income, I want to keep things as lean as possible, so.
Well, I'm already using a paid account because I have to have more funnels than they allow.
All right.
Because I use it for my other businesses as well.
For like your AI software and.
Yeah, for that and for our medical spa. And believe it or not, recently I got out of coaching in 2018 because high blood pressure, everything was going nuts. Tired
We
of
can relate.
I bought a restaurant in Colorado with some Airbnbs and
What?
right as COVID hit.
You've got a lot of comment, brother.
Really? And anyway, so I did that thing, used the funnels for that a little while.
How long had you owned your bed and breakfast? Or was it an Airbnb only?
No, it was a restaurant, and
Okay.
we had some apartments tied to the back of the restaurant that we put out on Airbnb. So,
Okay.
But we did it all through the COVID era, basically, which, to be honest with you, it really didn't phase us. All the Texas people come to Colorado to get cooled off anyway, and Texas people are notorious for not minding rules. We don't care about what the rules are.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna go anywhere. Yeah,
right.
don't tell me what to do.
Right. So it was fine, but I sold it about 3 months ago.
Okay.
Doing it over distance is just too hard.
But I take my hat off to you. I'd never buy a restaurant. It's the work.
Oh my gosh.
The work.
It's so hard. And up there, everybody's high, so you can't find any employees. I mean, I took 5 of my family up there, and all 5 of us ran that entire restaurant by ourselves.
Really? Wow.
Oh my gosh, it was nuts.
That make you tighter or less tight?
Depending on what day it was.
Yeah.
If it was opening or closing.
Yeah.
You're right. But,
So, I know. Yeah.
it is hard work.
It is. It's because I used to own a bed and breakfast, and I had 5 Airbnbs as well, and investments in land and all that kind of stuff. And during COVID up here, we had all the Massachusetts people, New York people. The Airbnbs were just going through the roof.
I can imagine.
And then all the restaurants did here is basically they just takeout. So they did very well. They just said, right, it's takeout only. There's no obviously sitting inside the restaurant or anything like that. So up here, everyone was loving COVID because they were making bank,
Right.
But I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about Airbnb business, and she was saying, I think you know who I'm talking about, Jared.
Yeah.
Saying that she had 20-something Airbnbs, and she did it with her son and everything. And I don't mean this in a negative way towards her at all. I said, what do you mean you went bankrupt? That does not make sense.
Right.
It's like, you must have done something.
Right.
Like, were you giving away money or?
Right. How do you not succeed with 20 of them?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, there's no way, even with cancellation policy, you'll walk away with something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
that's a little weird.
Yeah.
But the thing about starting, a bed and breakfast, Airbnb, and the entrepreneurial spirit, I love that about us because we want to try new things. Change is not easy. It's not easy for us.
Right.
But we do it because there's still a little bit of an excitement that goes along with it.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? Because
Yeah.
that same excitement that Michelle gives out with her t-shirt. She's a hope dealer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for me, you know, that's why I really wanted to kind of talk about when they watch the Daily ROI, man, I always come away feeling positive. I wanted to be the positive vibe dealers, right? I want people to like that we're talking about encouragement and stuff. So I get so excited about doing this podcast because of trying to connect and inspire somebody. What would you say, Troy, to somebody who's watched your videos, and what would be a message that you want to give somebody that maybe you've either you've already given previously or one that you want to get better at?
Well, the main message I would have, because it's the same message I tell myself daily: take control of your life. Stop. Now, listen, there's some jobs out there that I'm sure are wonderful. I'm glad we have doctors. I'm glad we have, well, I don't know about lawyers, but some of these people, somebody has to do those things. And my gosh, you go to school and you get good at that. But we've been told a lie for a long time, I believe. We've been told a lie about you got to go to school, you got to graduate, you got to go to college. That's all a lie, I think.
It is.
And my whole deal is you need to do you, whatever direction that takes you, but you do you be your real self, and you be the one in charge of your life. Don't let the man, the government, the whatever be in control of you. And I mean, that's what I've been trying to do. Now, don't get me wrong. Coaching's in my heart, and I coach because I love to coach, not because I like to work for a school district, not because I like to be tied to the government. I don't like all that. I love the coaching part. But what my point is to people is take control of your life. You talked about time freedom. And time freedom is such a big deal. You know, your financial freedom, all that stuff. But time and financial freedom is great. But being free from being dependent on somebody else, that's what it's about.
Right. Right.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I'm going to give you one right there, brother. Hold on. Boom! You got one right there. That was powerful. That was dynamite.
Yeah, it actually goes along the lines. I was going back, and I wish I saved it. It was one of these motivational speakers, very well-known one that I can't remember his name.
Jared A. Brown?
No. I'll think of it later. It'll come to me at 4:00 tomorrow morning. So,
it does that for me too. Yeah.
So anyway, what happened is he was doing this motivational get together, and there was people there from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, majority 40s, 50s, 60s, midlifers. And this 17-year-old stood up and he said, "What advice would you give me? I'm 17 years old, and I love what I'm hearing about. Exactly what we're talking about is you don't have to rely on the big corporations. You do your thing and just, time freedom, financial freedom, etc." And he said, "The first thing I'm going to tell you now, which is absolutely true, I'm going to answer that question, but everyone else is in the room thinking, why didn't I ask that when I was 17?
All right.
Seriously, that's a great question.
First thing. And then he said, this is what I would do. He said, find your passion and then build a business around your passion and put a deadline on it, like 10 years or whatever. And live at your parents and put all your money and all your effort into running that business and creating a business. And you will get people that will say to you, it won't work. You don't do it. Just go and get a job and do it. But ignore them, because you are the only one in this room that has time.
Nope.
And you have time to make mistakes and you have time to grow. And a lot of the other people don't have that time. So do that. And he said, what I don't want you to do is go home and live off your parents. No, you've got to fund yourself, but you got to do what you love. And then reassess your situation in 10 years. You might be running a multi-million-dollar business by then. So, even if it's a few people, but you're making a lot of money.
Boom!
He said, and then if you're not, you still got a little bit more time. So I'd give yourself to the mid-30s. And then after that, you got to look at, but he said, do not stray. Do not get put off. Do not listen to the negative sayers. Do not. I mean, it's like I've told Jared before. When we sold the bread and breakfast, it was like, what the hell do we do? I lived in corporate world. I did that for X amount of years.
Yeah.
I did not want to go back. You can't go back when you work for yourself. You can't do it.
After you had that taste of
it's like, forget it. So I thought, oh well, I love handyman. I love construction. I'm going to go and do that. I cannot tell you how many people told me not to do it. There's so much competition. Same as this. So much competition. You're not going to make it. Go and work for someone and get your $40 an hour.
Or my favorite is, I don't know if you guys have heard this, do something that's guaranteed. What?
It's guaranteed to keep you down. Is what it's guaranteed.
Right. And I always think, even to this day, even during my worst moments, that if I was working for someone else, I'd still be unhappy. I'll be enjoying it to a point, but now because it's my business and I went through a phase of doing really well, and I look back and I went, yeah, so much for that 40 an hour.
Right.
No, I mean, if I had listened to them, no. So now when everyone says no, or Nick, you're too old, I've had this, you're too old to understand, I'm like,
I'm not getting in here.
Sorry, bum cluster. Bum
fuzzled. Yeah, bum fuzzled.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's I find that that's inherent in me anyway, is that if someone says no to me, I'm like, okay, you've just thrown the gauntlet, the challenge.
Yeah, okay.
I'll quietly go and do it.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about what that comedian told that 17-year-old. My players, when I talk to them about their future and what they're going to do, it's kind of the same thing I tell them, except I had the fact of take what you're passionate about or should be passionate about and what you're good at.
Right.
And when those two intersect, you've got it. Because you can't just be passionate about it. You got to also be good at something.
You got to get better. Right.
Yeah, or get better. If you take the two of them and they intersect, you're on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you've just said is the mantra of the legacy pillar: coachable, committed.
Right.
And
those are the 3 C's. Those are the 3 C's. Yeah.
And it is. It's life, and it's we can joke about it, but it is. It's life. And if you live by it, you'll be fine. You'll do well. And I keep going back to, whenever I see people, I haven't made anything in 2 weeks. I'm like, really?
It takes time.
It takes time. You know what? I think of time because I did military service, and I think of this a lot whenever I don't know why, but recently I do think about this. And there have been times where I was preparing for the Falklands War, and there was live rounds flying around me. 22 years old, responsibility for 8 men's lives, right? Yeah. They're all between 30 and 40. I'm friggin' 22, and they've got to listen to me. And if I said to them, I don't like this, so I'm going to go back, what do you think would have happened?
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
I'm not having success yet.
I'm not having success. I mean, we still had to practice to go, and we still had to achieve our target and things like that, and goal. Yeah. Regardless of trees, literally trees were disappearing all around us, live wires, phaser rounds going above us and everything. And I still remember that to this day. And it was crazy stuff. It was crazy. But we achieved the goal. It took us a bit longer. But I just imagined, I don't know why, but in the last 2 weeks, I thought, if I said that in that situation, how would that have gone down?
You know, that's an interesting question that, you know, I think that sometimes in the just online businesses in general, I won't just say it's just in the DGC, but I think sometimes you get a percentage, and I don't know what that is, a percentage of people that sign up because their perception is that because they're seeing the wins, okay, and they're seeing these posts from multiple different people, that they're having success. And when I say success, you know what I'm talking about, the dollar amounts.
Right.
Sometimes that perception can make it seem as though it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I would rather have somebody who signed up, not because they think it's easy, but because they connected with me and they saw my passion.
Right.
Now, when those two converge, then that's a little bit like the magic you're talking about, Troy.
Right.
Absolutely. And I don't,
Right.
I'm not even going after the people that like they scroll through my video and they may see a video that was really cool. Oh, I want to own a business. Well, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking for those people that have been looking, that have a desire. That's who I'm looking for. Because one of the biggest things that affected me with Michelle is the first time I heard her say, I will build 1,000 six-figure income. I was thinking,
she thinks big.
that is so cool, because there's so many people out there that need that.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing that gets me the most when I discuss this with people, just like out in the real world, not on camera, they'll say something like, man, that sounds great. I would love to do that, but $900, and I'm thinking, do you have any idea what it costs to go start a business? I mean, try buying you a restaurant and 5 Airbnbs for $900. See how well that works for you.
Right. Or, okay, continue to go to your job where you're unhappy.
Right.
Continue to buy that brand new cell phone, okay, every year.
Right.
Which, even though sometimes people don't buy it outright, they pay installments, right? So they end up paying for it all. Just
Right.
installments. It's installments, right? Or there'll be another TV or another car. There's going to be something that's going to be a higher amount or just as much as the $900, and you're not going to bat an eye.
Right.
Well, just ask them if they got any tools. And
Right.
trust me, I know the cost of tools. You know, it's
Oh, yeah.
it's you're talking easy 900 with that.
Yeah. Tires for cars.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm just saying that, okay, if that's the person, okay, and that's why I don't spend a lot of time with anybody who may send me a message and say, well, it just seems like a lot of money. I don't spend a lot of time with that person.
Yeah,
Because, because if you're either, there is a percentage you're not seeing the value, and if that's the case, that's partly my fault. But if it is, I haven't gotten better or good enough to show you that value yet. So it's not worth the frustration of trying to go through and answer your questions and make you feel that way. It's just not worth it. So, I'll just connect with someone else.
Yeah. Some of those people, you're having to battle their demons of an MLM they've been in earlier, or one of those frustrating things that we've all done. And I get that. But are you coming to the table serious about changing your life? If you are, I mean, somebody was explaining something the other day. You want people that say yes. They listen to you speak about this and they just say yes. They don't even ask how much. They just, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, I do know what you mean, because my wife and I looked at buying a car a couple days ago, and we ended up actually just repairing our vehicle, and we didn't actually purchase. And I do not like going into buying cars. I don't, because I'm an easygoing guy and I don't like conflict. Okay. But what I also don't like, okay, and I love to laugh, I love to smile. And when I said I'm an easygoing guy, you'd probably take me for that, because I just don't look angry, right?
Right.
But what you guys don't probably see, okay, is that I also don't like being pushed around. See,
Right.
I've been a salesperson for a long time, okay? And so I know techniques, okay? And when I feel as though somebody's trying to close me and I'm not ready, I pump the brakes. I had to tell a realtor one time when we were looking at a home, no, don't want to buy it. Do you like it? Yes, but I don't like you. And and I don't enjoy that. But if somebody's treating me that way, I don't mind giving it right back. Does that make sense?
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
I do not like being sold.
No.
Okay. And that's why I love the digital growth community. What Michelle does is that she wants us to connect with people in a real way. It's not okay, I'm going to teach you these 3 ways to close people, and you need to close hard and close every time somebody has a question, because that's the way I was taught. Okay, you answer a question, you give them 3 benefits, and you close.
Right.
That's how I was taught.
Well, I'll tell you what, and one of the things Michelle talks about, is the mindset and all that training. And I've been really trying to go back and do a lot of that. Man, one of the guys I've been listening to, he talks a whole lot about, and he does some of his own online stuff. He doesn't ever try to sell anything. He said, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to give you value, give your information. You're a big boy, you're a big girl. You can make up your mind yourself. And that's kind of the way I've redirected myself. I'd rather just sit here.
Tim Hess does that. Tim Hess doesn't sell.
I'd rather just sit here and do this, and if somebody hears it and they can get excited about it, get connected by something we said, go for it.
Well, the biggest thing again is the transformation. People want to hear. They don't have to hear. Okay, and I think this is a concern for many people that are just starting out. Okay, well, I don't have that ultra success story, or I haven't made a lot of money yet, so I can't talk about how I can help you. You don't have to be.
Right.
Okay? If you haven't been already transformed, then talk about your vision of the transformation. Mm-hmm. That's just as powerful and just as important as talking about where you want to go. Mm-hmm. Because I guarantee you that Michelle, when she first started, she didn't have this great success story. Okay. Everybody starts out at the same place as a beginner.
Right.
And so every single one of them didn't have this success story in the very beginning, but you know what they all have in common? They talked about where they want to go, where they want to be. And if we can do that, then we can connect with people that will see that vision of, I want to be able to go to Germany. I want to go to UK with this guy. I want to be able to spend time with my grandchildren where we can go to, I don't know, Denver on a weekend. Okay, go watch a Broncos game. Watch them beat the Patriots or the Cowboys. You pick.
Is it even?
They ain't got to beat the Cowboys. Cowboys will just let them win.
And right now, I'm not there yet, but that's where I want to go. And if I get good about talking about where I want to be, okay, that transformation doesn't have to have already happened. You can talk about how you view and how you envision that transformation.
Well,
that's just powerful.
Yeah, you're in the middle of your story.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in the past.
It doesn't.
You're in the middle of it.
Your journey can be current, right?
Right. Very true. Very true. And I think that's a valid point, because we keep missing that. We keep on thinking, there's a future, there's a beginning, but we don't look at the middle bit.
It's just as important.
Something else I tell my players all the time is that some of them will get frustrated and thinking that they're doing stuff and it's not helping or it's not working. And I always try to tell them, all work works. You're either working and it's working and you're getting the benefit, or it's working on you and making you better. Yes. Either way, work works.
There's a lesson involved somewhere. It's so much better than inaction.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I want to thank you, Troy. It's been seriously amazing. I really dig your vibe. I like your message. I think you're going to connect with people on TikTok and wherever you try to share your message, because I think you're real. And I just think that people, when they're authentic, raw, and real, they're going to connect with people. And I'm excited to hear the rest of your journey, brother.
No,
All right. I sure appreciate it, man. You guys drew me in when I watched y'all, and that's why I reached out. I thought, man, I need to connect with these guys, and it's been awesome.
We appreciate it, and thank you very much for being a Celtics, Bruins, and Patriots fan.
It took me a while to figure out. At first, I thought Jared was like duetting with Nick. I didn't realize y'all were together in the same deal. It took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah, it does look that way a little bit. Right.
Yep.
But it's been awesome.
No, it's been a treasure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Cool
So
journey.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back as a co-host. So much like we're interviewing you, if we interview somebody else, we can bring you back as a co-host. And, if you want to add a question to someone that we're interviewing, you'd be there. I'd love to have that. And if you're down with that, I'd love to give you an invite another time.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Anytime. I'm out for the summer right now, baby, so I'm free.
Nice. So,
all right. Well, thank you again, my brother. Have a great weekend.
All right, y'all too.
Have a great 4th of July as well.
All right, y'all too.
Thanks.
Blessings to you.
Thank you. God bless.
You as
too.
well.
Man, what an interview. It just comes across as a real guy, and I love that. I do. I just feel as though when someone could deliver a message and they come across as, I'm just giving you my honest sincerity, you don't always get that. Sometimes you get somebody who does seem like extremely nervous, and that's real, but sometimes the wrong reason, because you don't want to follow somebody who's extremely nervous. He just comes across as, I'm real. I don't seem nervous, but I want to give you this message. And I just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with his coaching and linking it with the similarities with what we're doing was just powerful.
Yeah.
And it reminded, both of us of life, even with the 3 C's, the coachable, the consistency, consistency, commitment,
Yeah.
That for sports. God, I hate getting old. But you need that for sports, but you also need it for life, you know, because if you don't have that, then you're going to go nowhere fast. And, it's so important to have that. And I think, we all forget how similar life is to sport and what you commit to sport and what you do and the discipline and everything else. And I think it's
mindset.
The mindset is huge. But maybe I'll start looking at getting a mindset person on.
Yeah, that's powerful. I love it.
Yeah, because Amy, I know we're talking and we'll have her soon. So, and then,
Yeah, I've got another person I've interviewed previously on the Double Trouble show with my brother. I'd love to invite her and bring her on, but she's I wouldn't say mindset coach, but she talks about spirituality,
right,
and doing things to get grounded spiritually. It's just anyway, have a fantastic rest of your weekend, Nick, man. I appreciate you, brother.
And you.
Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this going. Can we make this work?
I'm glad to see you remembered. I
was poking fun, but yeah. Do one of them though. Do one of them. I can't get it this to work. Yeah. That's not working. Oh well. Usually when we do a heart or the peace sign, it makes balloons or fireworks. Yeah. It's not working.
No, it's not working.
It's not working. I've tried it for 2 weeks and it's not working.
You sounded like Paul McCartney.
Right, like Paul McCartney. Cockney.
Yeah, Liverpoolian. Liverpool. From Liverpool.
Yeah, that's right.
No,
All
I'm
right.
going to get a whole lot of slang from the Liverpudlians. You slapped around.
Right. They're gonna troll us.
They're gonna
All right,
say,
man. Okay, well, have a peaceful one. Much love and happiness, brother.
absolutely, and speak to you before, but if not, have a great 4th of July.
All right, you as well, my brother. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, where's that? Oh my gosh, Nick, I can't remember where I put the outro. Oh, there it is, right there.
It's time to be the GOAT. It's time to enter God mode, man, let's get it going. I wanna be the greatest, energy is overflowing. I know I'm stoking the fire, my desire's taking over. Not tired, I'm inspired, rewired. I know just what is required. My brain knows how to decipher the messages, looking brighter. Already paid up the pipe, but my game is getting much tighter. I feel my body on fire. Now it's game time. All the practice to prepare for this main time. I could do anything, that's my baseline. Go ahead and do you, I'ma make mine. You gon' read me in the headlines. Always go up, I don't know a decline. On the glow up, getting better with time. Yeah, I'm about to hit my prime.
The air is filled up with suspense. We've got our dreams, we must have found.